What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Today I have another haircut tutorial for you guys. In this tutorial I'm doing another boy's haircut, and we're going to be doing a side part hairstyle with a little bit of a fade. So guys, if you like the content, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, leaving your comments down below, subscribing, turning that post notifications on, and also guys, if you like the tools that I use and you want to check them out, links down in the description. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, so to start out this haircut I'm going to be spraying some water on the head, and then I'm going to comb the hair into the style that I want it to look like at the end. Just ensures that you're not going to take off any hairs that you don't want to. Now I'm going to be clipping the top hairs with a clip just to hold them there to make sure hairs don't fall over and I don't notice and then I cut them off, because that would be pretty terrible. So moving into the fade, I have my 2-guard lever fully open using the wall magic clips. And at this stage, we're just trying to set the foundation. And you want to remember, you want to make a square shaped haircut for most men. So you want to go straight up at this point. You don't want to create a line. You want to try and blend in as much as possible. And then you can come back in later with some clipper over comb or scissor over comb to blend out the top. But you can see here, I'm pretty much just going straight up. You're going to go all the way around the head. And then you're going to follow up with the lever fully closed and just clean up the area underneath. So boys' hair, you can see there's some dark and some light spots when they're younger because the head shape isn't fully grown, things like that. And their hair is going to grow in different patterns. So you're going to want to make sure that you are cutting against the grain at all times. And you can see I'm just going on different directions and just making sure I'm getting everything. Now to blend the top in, I am using clipper over comb. I had the lever set at about half. His hair was pretty fine, so it wasn't too hard to do. You just have to pretty much find your two open guideline and tie it into the top, tilt the clipper to a 45-degree angle, and take off the excess hair. Alright, so moving to the next step, I have my 1-guard, and I'm starting with the lever fully open. We're going to go up about 1 inch on the sides and then just tie it in all the way around the head. This is going to leave a darker spot between the 1 and the 2, so you're going to come back in with your 1.5 guard and tie it all together. So to blend out the bottom, we're going to give it a little bit of a taper effect with the 1-guard fully closed. So you can see I'm cleaning up all the hairs, and then to tie that into the lever open, we're just going to put the lever halfway and attack that line. So the back of the neck, you're going to find some interesting hair patterns sometimes and some dark spots. So you just want to work on them as much as possible and just tie the blend in the best that you can. See, I'm just cleaning up the sideburn with the lever closed and then put it to half, just tied it in again. So now I have the 1.5 guard, and I'm starting with the lever open. I'm going to try and flick out into the 2, and I'm going to work my way down to the lever closed, just cleaning up the area in general. So at this part, you're going to see some dark spots. Just try and clean it up the best you can and take your time with it. So you can see there's a little bit of a dark spot in the middle there. I actually go back and clean that up later with the 1.5 fully open and the 2-guard closed. Alright guys, I'm just going to pause the video for a sec here. This is where I actually go into cutting the top of his hair, but I'm going to do a separate video on it because I feel like I always rush through it and you guys always ask me a lot of questions, so expect a video coming out this week on how I cut the top of his hair. So here's where I clean it up. I have the 2-guard fully closed and I'm just trying to tighten up the area, going all the way around the head and just trying to perfect the blend. So now I'm moving into lining up his sideburns and his neck area. You want to use trimmers that aren't too sharp on kids, so these definitely aren't zero gap, they're just adjusted nicely. And you want to just take your time and line it up. Don't press on the skin, and definitely don't dig on kids' skin because they do have super sensitive skin, so you just want to keep that in mind. So especially the back of the neck area, you really want to just tap it and just try and make as sharp as line as possible and clean up all the baby hairs. So sometimes you're not going to be able to see the baby hairs because they're so light, but you just want to make sure you're going past it and cleaning it all up. You can see here that I'm just tapping the line in and then I'm coming up underneath with the clipper flipped upside down, just cleaning up all the hairs underneath, and it makes it look clean enough. So same thing on the other side. Just take your time and don't press too hard. See here, I'm using the corner of the blade to get behind the ear. Just pretend that you have like a pencil and you're just trying to draw it in. That's pretty much the best way that I could explain it. I say it all the time, but it's really like the best way to explain it. So now I'm going back in and I'm going to do all my detail work for the blend. At this point, I like to start with the highest guard and move down to the lowest guard, because initially we started out blending, we set the foundation, then we use a lower guard and go up. So when you do this way, it ensures that you won't really mess up. If you have a spot that's too dark or too heavy, you want to come back in with the 1.5. You're starting with your 2, so you can try and attack that area. And if it doesn't get it, then move down. Instead of using a 1 right away, it might be too short, and then you're gonna have to raise the fade, and that's never good. So just take your time, and just this part of the haircut is probably the most important part. So take your time and enjoy it. All right, guys, so I'm blow drying his hair. For kids' hair, you definitely want to use low to medium heat. I was using low heat. His hair dries pretty fast. So I'm just trying to dry it so that when I put the paste in, it doesn't look too wet, and I'm just trying to give it a little bit of volume. All right, so you can see here I grabbed a little bit of some matte paste, rubbed it through my hands, and I'm just gonna apply it to his hair, starting from the back and then working my way to the front. You wanna make sure you're getting the product all the way to the roots so it's gonna hold, and you're definitely gonna wanna make sure you don't use too much product. You can always add product, but you don't wanna add too much because it'll make it look greasy, and that's never a good look. So a little bit of product goes a long way. Now I'm just grabbing my comb. I'm using the wide part of the comb, and I'm just trying to style it into a nice side part haircut. And then the front, I'm just bringing it over the top to give it a little bit of like a pompadour look. But yeah, overall, I feel like it turned out pretty good. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Leave a like. Make sure you're subscribing and turning that post notification on so you do know when I post a video. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one.